Well, you said you were wrong to ever leave me alone. Now you're lonesome, you're sorry and scared. And you say you'd be happy if you could just come back home. Well, here's a quarter, call someone who cares. Call someone who listens and might give a damn of your sordid affair. Don't you come round here handing me none of your lies. Here's a quarter, call someone who cares. You said you were wrong to ever leave me alone. You're lonesome, you're sorry and scared. And you said you'd be happy if you could just come back home. Here's a quarter, call someone who cares. Call someone who listens and might give a damn. Maybe one of your sordid affairs. Don't you come round here handing me none of your lies. Here's a quarter, call someone who cares. Call someone who listens and might give a damn. Maybe one of your sordid affairs. Don't you come round here handing me none of your lies. Here's a quarter, call someone who cares. Here's a quarter, call someone who cares. Thank you. I got some friends down in Houston who know me quite well. They'll be happy, I know, to put me up for a spell. I can hang out or hang on, whichever I choose. They won't ask me questions about why I got the blues. I've got a Houston solution in mind. All it takes is a call on the telephone line. I can leave all these problems in Nashville behind. Here's a Well, my daddy once told me, you can't run away. Your problems will follow and find you someday. Well, there's no use to argue, 'cause he's probably right. I run out of options, I'm leaving tonight. I've got a Houston solution in mind. All it takes is a call on the telephone line. I can leave all these problems in Nashville behind with no pollution in mind. I've got a Houston solution in mind. All it takes is a call on the telephone line. I can leave all these problems in Nashville behind. I've got a Houston solution in mind. I've got a Houston solution in mind. Thank you.
Really close to the last one.
That old rain, it's cold and slowly falling upon my window pane tonight. And though you've left and found another, I wonder where you are tonight. That old rain, it's cold and slowly falling upon my window pane tonight. And though you left and found another, I wonder where you are tonight. Your heart was cold, you never loved me, though you often said you cared. And now you left and found another to know the love that we once shared. That old rain, it's cold and slowly falling upon my window pane tonight. And though you left and found another, I wonder where you are tonight. That old rain, it's cold and slowly falling upon my window pane tonight. And though you left and found another, I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight.
CD that's got, I think it's 52 Reuben Brother tunes on it.
Yeah.
Back when they were, like, they lived with, one of them was John D. Laudermilk for a while, and another one, and they got all these hits that they used to do that sucker on. Three different, don't be fancy,
Here's a little song for my wife here. It's the first song I ever sang to her. Charley Pride did it way before I did. Before you take another step, there's something you should know about your life ahead. how it will be. You'll be living in a world where roses hardly ever grow. For all I have to offer you is me. There'll be no mansions waiting on the hill, no crystal chandeliers, and there'll be no fancy clothes for you to wear. Everything I have is standing here in front of you to see. All I have to offer you is me. Sweetheart, I'll give you all my love in every way I can. Make sure that's what you want while you're still free. The only gold I have for you is in this wedding band. For all I have to offer you is me. There'll be no mansions waiting on the hills, no crystal chandeliers, and there'll be no fancy clothes for you to wear. Everything I have is standing here in front of you to see. All I have to offer you is me. There'll be no mansions waiting on the hills, no gold chandeliers, and there'll be no fancy clothes for you to wear. Everything I have is standing here in front of you to see. All I have to offer you is me. All I have to offer you is me. That was pretty much a true story, too. Anybody remember Burl Ives? Here's a Burl Ives song. Well, you said you were leaving tomorrow. Today was our last day. I said there'll be no sorrow and laugh when you walked away. But a little bit of tear let me down, spoiled my act as a clown. I had it made up not to wear a frown, oh, but a little bit of tear let me down. I said that I'd laugh when you left me, full of funny as you walked out the door. I said there'll be another one awaiting, just to wave goodbye when you go. But a little bit of tear let me down, spoiled my act as a clown. I had it made up not to wear a frown, oh, but a little bit of tear let me down. Well, everything went like I planned it. I really put on quite a show. In my heart I thought that I could stand it till you walked with your grips to the door. Then a little bit of tear let me down, spoiled my act as a clown. I had it made up not to wear a frown, oh, but a little bit of tear let me down. Let me down, spoiled my act as a clown. I had it made up not to wear a frown, oh, but a little bit of tear let me down. Oh yes, a little bit of tear let me down. Oh well, a little bit of tear let me down. Thank you. Here's a little song that I like to dedicate to Charley over here. It's one called Charley's Shoes. I'd like to be in Charley's shoes, is what I always said. For he had you and everything wrapped with a golden thread. Then Charley left and went away, and when I got the news, it wasn't long till I was walking round in Charley's shoes. Now I'm wearing out the shoes that Charley wore, just walking back and forth across the floor. Those troubles that drove him away, I've got for company. These nights in Charley's shoes are killing me. Those greener pastures that I found so quickly did turn brown. Now every little dream I build, you're always tearing down. I never knew that Charley's shoes could have so many tabs of disappointing sorrows, and I wish he had 'em back. Now I'm wearing out the shoes that Charley wore, just walking back and forth across the floor. Those troubles that drove him away, I've got for company. These nights in Charley's shoes are killing me. Now I'm wearing out the shoes that Charley wore, just walking back and forth across the floor. Those troubles that drove him away, I've got for company. nights in Charlie's shoes are killing me. Yes, these nights in Charlie's shoes are killing me. Thank you. You should do it. Somebody was saying the other day, Archie never does that one on the stage. It might have been.
My best friend just moved in with my ex-wife and he's just having a heyday.
Oh, your best friend moved in with your ex-wife.
Apparently she's quit drinking. She was a drunk.
Oh.
Went through a lot of money in several years. I must have been the problem.
Well, I'm on number 3, so I guess there's a common denominator there somewhere. Margie, pay attention. I'm going to do a song for you. I'll give it my best. I know this is one of Margie's favorite songs. From a jack to a king, from loneliness to a wedding ring, I played an ace and I won a queen. You made me king of your heart. From a jack to a king, with no regrets I stacked the cards last night. Lady Luck played her hand just right. She made me king of your heart. For just a little while I thought that I might lose the game. Then just in time I saw the twinkle in your eye. From a jack to a king, from loneliness to a wedding ring, I played an ace and I won a queen. You made me king of your heart. For just a little while I thought that I might lose the game. Then just in time I saw the twinkle in your eye. From a jack to a king, from loneliness to a wedding ring, I played an ace and I won a queen. You made me king of your heart. Thank you. Are we? Here's a song for my friend back in Strathmore, Alberta, my friend Bob Gordon, who likes to watch us here, and then he gets his guitar and strums along, and I kind of stole this song from him, so I better do it for him. Oh, jealous me and foolish you, the odds were just too great. I couldn't stand those lonely nights, you made me sit and wait. I thought I'd seen the last of you when you walked out of sight. Instead I see you in my dreams each night. The keys in the mailbox, come on in. Sitting here wishing, dear, I had your love again. I'll never even ask you where you've been. The key's in the mailbox, come on in. I said I'd rather be alone than share your company. I said don't come around at all if you want more than me. But sitting here alone, I can't deny the flame that burns. I'd gladly take you back on any terms. The key's in the mailbox, come on in. Sitting here wishing, dear, I had your love again. I'll never even ask you where you've been. The key's in the mailbox, come on in. The key's in the mailbox, come on in. Sitting here wishing, dear, I had your love again. I'll never even ask you where you've been. The key's in the mailbox, come on in. I'll never even ask you where you've been. The key's in the mailbox, come on in. Here's a John Conlee song. Making money at 30 with a wife and a son. A short 5 years later, it all comes undone. She's run back to mama with the boy by her side. I'm wine drunk and running with them on my mind. On the backside of 30 and back on my own. An empty apartment don't feel like a home. The backside of 30, the short side of time. Back on the bottom with no will to climb. It's dawn Monday morning, I just called in sick. I skipped work last Friday just to spend this month's rent. And when my friends ask me, I tell them I'm fine. But my eyes tell a story that my lies can't hide. On the backside of 30 and back on my own. An empty apartment don't feel like a home. The backside of 30, the short side of time. Back on the bottom with no will to climb. I'm back on the bottom with no will to climb.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Usually perfect.
How about Waylon Jennings? Don't know any Gordon Lightfoot. Well, you
Leave that up to old Gordon.
Here's a Waylon Jennings. Well, a long time forgotten, our dreams that just fell by the way. And the good life he promised ain't what she's living today. Lord knows she don't understand him, but she does the best that she can. She's a good-hearted woman, loving a good-timing man. Well, she's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. And she loves him in spite of his wicked ways that she don't understand. Through teardrops and laughter, they'll pass through this world hand in hand. This good-hearted woman, loving a good-timing man. Well, he likes the nightlife, the bright lights, and his good timing friends. When the party's all over, she'll welcome him back home again. Lord knows she never complains about the bad times, the bad things he's done. She just talks about the good times they've had and all the good times. Well, she's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. And she loves him in spite of his wicked ways that she don't understand. Through teardrops and laughter, they'll pass through this world hand in hand. This good-hearted woman, loving a good-timing man. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. And she loves him in spite of his wicked ways that she don't understand. Through teardrops and laughter, they'll pass through this world hand in hand, Lord. This good-hearted woman, loving a good-timing man. Yes, she's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. Thank you.
Alberta Line.
Oh. It is so. We'll do that one.
I can't believe he's sitting there tapping his foot to this. He wants to know. He's sitting there tapping the mute. He's tapping his foot. And he can't take the tapping his foot to Gordon Lightfoot. You got to go lay on the floor and sing on the mic.
We had a request for a Gordon Lightfoot song. I just remembered I do know one of his. Being from Alberta, it's kind of an Alberta song, so. Well, the prairie lights are burning bright, the Chinook wind is a-moving in. Tomorrow night I'll be Alberta bound. And though I've done the best I could, my old luck ain't been good. Tomorrow night I'll be Alberta bound. Well, no one else could ever forget the Rocky Mountain sunset. It's a pleasure just to be Alberta bound. I long to see my next of kin, see what kind of shape they're in. Tomorrow night I'll be Alberta bound. Alberta bound, Alberta bound. It's good to be Alberta bound. Alberta bound,
Alberta bound,
Alberta bound.
Alberta bound.
It's good to be Alberta bound. The skyline of Toronto is something you'll get onto, but they say you've got to live there for a while. And if you got the money, you can buy yourself a honey with a written guarantee to make you smile. It's snowing in the city and the streets are dark and gritty. I know there's pretty girls all over town, but the reason you can't find me is the one I left behind me. She's the reason that I'll be Alberta bound. Alberta bound,
Alberta bound,
Alberta bound,
Alberta bound.
It's good to be Alberta bound. Alberta bound,
Alberta bound,
Alberta bound,
Alberta bound.
It's good to be Alberta bound. It's good to be Alberta bound. Thank you.
That's where I'll be a week from now. It's empty. It's the cheapest wine in the country. It's $15 for a jug.
A gallon.
A gallon.
Here's a song for my sister up in Alberta, Canada, up there in Strathmore. They watch us every night, and she likes this song, so I'm going to do this Merle Haggard song just for her. She was always there each time I needed you, holding on to me like I held on to you. Now we don't have what you and I once had. Oh, it's not love, but it's not bad. Oh, it's not love, not like ours was. It's not love, but it keeps love from driving me mad. And I don't have to wonder who she's had. Oh, it's not love, but it's not bad. was always there when you'd leave me alone. Even sometimes when you're here but you're still gone. Now she's slowly changing what you left so sad. Oh, it's not love, but it's not bad. Oh, it's not love, not like ours was. It's not love, but it keeps love from driving me mad. And I don't have to wonder who she's had. Oh, it's not love, but it's not bad. Oh, it's not love, but it's not bad. Thank you.
You know, Jack, you always say that Strathmore is the center of the universe?
The universe, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
How come the Calgary City buses keep on it whenever they're talking about Strathmore?
that's because everybody in Calgary's like sheep. They're all heading to Strathmore.
Oh. I just thought maybe it meant it was sleepy out there or something. Ever playing that Legion out there? Somebody told me I'm supposed to be playing there, and I go out there, and they always say, "No, we don't have music."
Oh yeah, they do. Here's another John Conley. I don't know why I keep on believing you need me when you prove so many times that it ain't true. I can't find one good reason for staying. Maybe your leaving would be the best for you. These rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth. But they help me hold on to the good times, the good lines, the ones I used to hear when I held you. And they keep me from feeling so cheated, defeated, when reflections in your eyes show me a fool. These rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth. These rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth. So I'll keep on hoping, believing that someday, by counting the many times I've tried, you believe me when I say I love you, and I lay these rose-colored glasses aside. These rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth. Thank you. Here's a little song that's a bar song for all you drinking people. There's no place that I'd rather be than right here with the rednecks and white socks and blue ribbon beer. The barmaid is mad 'cause some guy made a pass. The jukebox is playing, there stands a glass. The cigarette smoke sort of hangs in the air. It's rednecks and white socks and blue ribbon beer. No, we don't fit in with that white collar crowd. We're a little rowdy and a little too loud. But there's no place that I'd rather be than right here with rednecks and white socks and blue ribbon beer. A cowboy is cussing the pinball machine. A drunk at the bar's getting noisy and mean. Some guy on the phone says I'll be home soon, dear. Rednecks and white socks and blue ribbon beer. No, we don't fit in with that white collar crowd. We're a little too rowdy and a little too loud. But there's no place that I'd rather be than right here with rednecks and white socks and blue ribbon beer. The semis are passing on the highway outside. A 4:30 crowd is about to arrive. The sun's going down, soon they'll all be here. Rednecks and white socks and blue ribbon beer. No, we don't fit in with that white collar crowd. We're a little too rowdy and a little too loud. But there's no place that I'd rather be than right here with the rednecks and white socks and blue ribbon beer. No, we don't fit in with that white collar crowd. We're a little too rowdy and a little too loud. But there's no place that I'd rather be than right here with the rednecks and white socks and blue ribbon beer. I love those rednecks, those white socks and blue ribbon beer. Thank you. Well, she said if I ever deceived her, she'd be gone before I could count 10. But I guess that I didn't believe her. Now look at the trouble cry, the faster the plane flies, farther across the sky. I lost every right to be happy when I lost the heaven I'd found. She said that she'd leave and she left me before my first tear hit the ground. Now she's gone, 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 she's gone, gone, gone. Crying won't bring her back. The more that I cry, the faster the plane flies, farther across the sky. If I only knew where to find her, I'd crawl there on my hands and knees. Each tick of the clock's a reminder she's 1 second further from me. Now she's gone, 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 she's gone, gone, gone. Crying won't bring her back. The more that I cry, the faster the plane flies, farther across the sky. Now she's gone, 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 she's gone, gone, gone. Crying won't bring her back. The more that I cry, the faster the plane flies, farther across the sky. The more that I cry, the faster the plane flies, farther across the sky. Ago, on a cold dark night, there was someone killed neath the town hall light. There were few at the scene, but they all agreed the slayer who ran looked a lot like me. The judge said, son, what is your alibi? If you were somewhere else, you won't have to die. I spoke not a word, though it meant my life, for I'd been in the arms of my best friend's wife. She walks these hills in a long black veil, where the cold winds blow and the night winds sway. Nobody knows and nobody sees. Nobody knows but me. scaffold is high, eternity near. She stood in the crowd, she said not a tear. But sometimes at night, when the cold wind moans in a long black veil, she cries over my bones. She walks these hills in a long black veil, where the cold winds blow and the night winds wail. Nobody knows and nobody sees. Nobody knows but me. She walks these hills in a long black veil, where the cold winds blow and the night winds wail. Nobody knows and nobody sees. Nobody knows but me. Nobody knows but me. Thank you. Don't be angry then.
Windamas.
This is our last song of the night, for better or for worse. This is one of Archie's favorite songs, so we always do this as our last song. Don't be angry with me, darling, if I fail to understand all your little whims and wishes all the time. Just remember that I'm dumb, I guess, like any foolish man, and my head stays sort of foggy 'cause you're mine. Well, I recall the first time I flirted with you, dear, when I jokingly said, come and be my bride. Well, time has turned the pages, it's the sweetest joke on earth, for I have you here forever by my side. Don't be angry with me, darling, if I fail to understand all your little whims and wishes all the time. Just remember that I'm dumb, I guess, like any foolish man, and my head stays sort of foggy 'cause you're mine. Maybe someday you're gonna hurt me. I've been hurt in love before. Only God can know, and time alone will tell. In the meantime, I'll keep loving you with all my heart and soul, and pray God that it can last if it's His will. Don't be angry with me, darling, if I fail to understand all your little whims and wishes all the time. Just remember that I'm dumb, I guess, like any foolish man. And my head stays sort of foggy 'cause you're mine. Don't be angry with me, darling, if I fail to understand all your little whims and wishes all the time. Just remember that I'm dumb, I guess, like any foolish man. And my head stays sort of foggy 'cause you're mine. Yes, my head stays sort of foggy 'cause you're mine. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks to all of you for coming out. We really appreciate it. Oh, that's our. That last song, man, yeah, that bass is nice on there. Walking that bass up and down, that's the way basses are supposed to be.